Hello, this is Elsa again. I'm going to try and make a square canvas. As you can see, this is a bit of heavy quality. It's not from Action here in the Netherlands. I'm going to use a example. It's like a lotus with some beautiful flowers and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a instant filler. You can get this at Action. It's 1 kilo. It's not that expensive. So hope you can see it. It's from Spectrum Instant Filler. And I'm going to use that to cover the stencil, and then when I pull it off, the lotus and the flowers and everything will be on here. Then I'll let it dry, and I'm going to paint the instant filler. Before that, I want to make a background to let the stencil pop out, because if it's white on white you don't see it that much, and if I just paint it gold I think it's quite boring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime the canvas, although it's already primed. I'm going to prime it again with a gesso primer from Holland's, and yeah, it's about 1,000 milliliter. It's acrylic color applicable and oil color applicable, so it means that you can use it as a base for oil paintings, as you can use it as a base for acrylic paintings. So just going to do this, put a thick layer, to make sure that there is a good base for the paint to connect to. Make sure it's spread evenly. Don't matter about the sides that much, because they don't really matter for me. Okay. All right, so this is the gesso. Let me just put my brush here, close the lid. Close it quite firmly because it will dry out. That will be a shame. Okay, that's that. Okay, I'm back again. It's dry. Make sure there are no pieces of dirt. I have this little toy. I think it's for a dog or something like that, but my bird just replied on the sound. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to pour a few colors I have: silver, black, and purple, and what is this color called? Let me just see. It's berry, and it's all from Deco Art Metallics, bright metallic paints. Very smooth, just paint and some water, and as you can see, it just drips off in a very small line. And I made some white, some purple, some berry, some black and some silver. And I'm going to use the white. It's regular white from Amsterdam. And I'm going to use the regular white as a silicone. So I hope that it will give some effect. So let me just put some silicone into the container. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just put 8 in it because it's quite a lot. Okay. Gently mix it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to see if the canvas is leveled out. Let me see, I need my water pass. So I think I have to put some fluid here. I always use these pieces of wood you get along with the canvas. I just kind of put them beneath them so I can see that the water is a bit off. So let me just add this beneath. Look at that. Let me check here. Okay. Because we don't want the paint drip off. Okay. I don't need that one. Okay, let me just, that looks okay. And that looks okay, it's just one I needed. Okay, just put it all away. You know these things, right? You can level your canvas out. Because if it's a bit like that, the paint will drop off. And it's no problem if a little bit drops off on the sides, but if it goes all to one level, then yeah, the way the paint is being built up is going to be deformed by the pressure of being kind of pressed out to one side. Usually it's because that the underground, in this case my table, is not really leveled out, and so a little bit of adjustments can do a lot of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a circle of the white around it, and this just will help the colors kind of move more easy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour it from above and let it, there's a little bit of thing inside, I don't know what it is. Let me just try that. I'm going to put a little bit of purple, of berry I mean. There might be some air bubbles in it, but you can blow, use the torch later on. I'm going to use the purple. I didn't make a lot of paint because it's a small canvas. And in these buckets, or cups, there's no silicone in them, just paint and water diluted to some certain extent that makes them pour good, but not too watery. Okay, let me just repeat. Okay. Just have to make sure that the ball doesn't move. This doesn't really matter. You can see the silicone in the white already does its work, as you can see here. Nice thing of this kind of pour is that you're not really sure what's going to look like, but that's, I don't know, it's exciting. Let me just repeat it again till all my paint is gone. Okay, purple. I'm not going to use the black because I think it's getting too dark, so I'm going to add some more silver again. I mean, I don't want it to be dark. I think that's okay. Okay, last bit. Okay, that's it. A little bit of purple. Okay. Okay. Kind of want to put some white. I don't know why, but maybe it gets a bit of a better effect. Let me just see. Look at it. Silicone really does its work. Okay. Okay. I cleaned up the stencil and taped it on the correct place. And hello, it's me again. Hi. As you can see, I hope it's dry. It's very beautiful. Nice big cells, and these look like flowers, and this time I'm not sure what it looks like, but I like the colors. So this is what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to use this stencil, apply to it on the place where I think it would be nice. I have to kind of keep in mind the edges. Okay, I cleaned up the stencil and taped it on the correct place. And all I'm going to do now is use some spatula, and I'm going to try hold down this and see if I can fill it with this filler. Okay, so you have to kind of feel a little bit how you want to fill it up, because you want to try and protect it from going. So you press it and then you scrape it. Press it, scrape it. Press it, scrape it. so it will fill up the pattern and keeps the pattern also on its place, because it's lifting a little bit from where, as you can see. So if you press a little bit down like that, hopefully it won't go under. Just be careful. It looks like a lot because I'm kind of placing more of the stuff than the pattern actually needs, but once it's done and I'll lift it, it will leave the pattern. I'll let that dry, and then, well, I did not explain that properly. Once this is dry, it's not correct because I'm going to go over it. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go over it with a metallic paint while it's still wet, so that the white becomes metallic gold or any color I want to use. Remove a little bit of the excess paint to get a smooth surface, and when I take off too much, then it will expose the pattern again. So you have to kind of go along with the process. I don't want to lay it very thick. Maybe a little bit more here. Okay, let me just see if I took some place of... No, this looks good. Let me just put a little bit of water on this piece of paper. I always put some some wet. I forgot to put this down because it will dry out. So just put it back down. It's a bit of a mess, but it prevents the filler from drying out if you add some papers with water. Keeps it hydrated. Okay, all right, let me just go and look for a color that looks good with this. I could do gold. I did that a lot. I could do, I think I'll do, let me just see. What about blue? What do you say? Is blue a nice color? This is the sapphire. Let me just see if I have enough. This is enough. Okay. Deep Sapphire from Deco Arts. As you can see, I'll leave it as the way it is. I will not thin it down. So I'm going to kind of put some blood here. Just like that. Doesn't matter if it's a bit too much. And I'm just going to go over it. All the patterns that are there. As you can see, maybe I need some more. Put a lot because I don't really want to brush it in. I want to kind of lay it on top of the filler that's in. So I hope I have covered it all. Now is what I'm going to do. Just put this here. I'm going to remove it carefully. And see if I can I think the blue is an excellent choice. Look at that. That looks so beautiful. Let me just put this here. Look at it. Okay, some of the paint went below. It doesn't really matter. I can kind of clean it up. It doesn't really matter if it's a little bit. That's always a possibility with stencils that are this big. I think once it dries, it won't be that white because I think it dries up transparent. But I think it looks beautiful. As you might see, let me just get some painting. I'll use some of the paint that's still here, and I'll just kind of touch it up so it makes a better picture. Very carefully. Don't want to overdo it. And as I can see, let me just a little bit more here. And it's a shame to waste paint, so if you can use what's still left on the sponge, I'd say go for it. didn't cover it. It's always a gamble to try and figure out what's going to look like when you remove the stencil. The nice thing about the stencil is that it will be more 3D. I could have used more colors, but I want to keep it quite simple, and I think it still shows enough of the pink that I like about the pouring. So this is what you call mixed media, because you use different kinds of mediums, like pouring with acrylic paint. You use the stencil, which is a medium, with filler, wall filler, which is a medium, and yeah, so that's why it's called mixed media art. You use more than one typical object or paint or whatever to create your piece of art. And I love this, and I think this is better than when I would have drawn and it would have been too much. If it just be, you know, a few lines, then it would have been okay, but this is too much. So I'm just going to go over it and see if I miss some spots. Just accentuate. Just tipping it slightly with my brush to get it to look like it's supposed to look like that. And you see, I kind of buried the stencil totally in blue paint, and still some of the stencil didn't get all the blue paint on it. So that learns you that this kind of after work to kind of, you know, patch it up is always needed. Okay, looks like did I miss anything else? Yes, amazing. You can try as well as you want, but you will always miss some part. Okay. Make sure I got it all covered. As you can see, just a little shot when it's still wet. As you can see, the white is the filler, but when it's dry, you will not see it that much. So it looks good. Good shots from above. And just to show you the 3D effect, and I think it looks beautiful, the blue. It's like a royal blue sapphire. Looks beautiful. These looks like little flowers blossoming. So I like it.